Video Gamers Oasis, Playful Podcast. Discussions on my favorite games, movies, TV shows, anime, comic books, collectibles, and other fun content for gamers and geeks. I'm your host, Jeremy. Welcome to the show. Hello, welcome back to Video Gamers Oasis. Playful Podcast is a special episode. I know I promised I would take a break for the rest of the year, 2020, but I've been spending some time with some videos online, and one of the movies that I've rented on Amazon and HBO Max is Wonder Woman 1984, the sequel to the smash hit first Wonder Woman, and it's directed by Patty Jenkins, story by Patty Jenkins and Jeff Johns, Dave Callahan, William Moulton Marston, based on the DC characters, the Wonder Woman who many of us have grown up to love. I remember watching the Justice League on television cartoon with Wonder Woman, and I really loved the hero Wonder Woman. So I'm with my friend Joel. He's my special guest on the show. How you doing, Joel?
Good. How's it going?
Keeping well. Yeah. We just rented online because the theaters are locked down right now. We watched Wonder Woman 1984, starring the very beautiful and talented Gal Gadot, and also stars Chris Pine as Steve Trevor. And Kristen Wiig as Barbara
Pedro
Minerva.
Pascal, we all know him.
Pedro Pascal. If you watched Game of Thrones, you saw he played the serpent guy with the spear. And
Robin Wright, formerly married to Sean in a fabulous House of Cards.
Yeah.
God knows how many other things.
There was I really liked the cast. If nothing else really worked for me, which I enjoyed it, but if nothing else, the acting and performances were really, really good. And I think that's always a good thing about movies, is that if you can capture a really good performance, then you can forget maybe any kind of lax stories or lax writing. Rewind to the 1980s as Wonder Woman's next big screen adventure finds her facing two all-new foes, Max Lord and the Cheetah.
One's wish, including his own. And if people are going to be honest with themselves, then no matter who you were rooting for in the last American election, both sides are very guilty of that. So anyway, no, it was a good show. It's sort of like the first Wonder Woman. There's things that are compelling about it and things that are kind of eye-rolling and face-palming and cartoonish.
The first part of the movie, I got a little bit groany. Like it got a little corny with the idea of, big bad men gonna grab harass the woman. It's like, yeah, there's good men too, right? There's not all men are bad.
It's a little bit stereotypical. Yeah. It's the new stereotypical feminist thing.
But it was cartoony. And I like how Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman, she's actually a very kind person in the story. She doesn't believe in hurting innocent men in the story. She doesn't believe in killing people. She's a lot like Batman. She won't kill innocent people. She has a good moral, good ethics. I like that about the character. I just on a side note, just like how she was in the beginning, she was stopping the bank robbers. She was swinging on her whip. She does this throughout the movie, like Spider-Man, or like Tarzan. I kind of like that. Was kind of cool. How she used the lasso of truth to battle. She doesn't use a shield or a sword in this one. Have you noticed that?
No,
she doesn't do any kind of blade work.
No, it's like she's not. How would I put it? Like, maybe I'm being a bit naive, but she doesn't strike me as being overly narcissistic like a lot of real life women.
She has almost like that angelic kind of attitude.
She's noble.
She's a noble. She's a warrior angel. You could say, and she's something very pure about that character. That's why I think that's what's so appealing about Gal Gadot. If I may get a little drooly, besides her being a very beautiful lady, she has a very pure spirit. She's very pure. Character. She doesn't. I don't take her as a very egotistical person.
No. And
I like that character. I think she's an excellent Wonder Woman. And what'd you think about the character who played Cheetah? She starts off as sort of like a nerd, nerdy girl.
Kristen Wiig,
and
Minerva.
She wishes upon the stone.
Yeah. No, you actually feel for her because she's. Very
bullied.
She's bullied, and I definitely identified with her in many ways because she was very earnest, yet she was like spinning her wheels, not getting anywhere in life, and working very hard and getting, well, let's face it, not much of anything. So I definitely, I think in a way this movie's message is very good for people like that they don't turn their back on themselves. And become something ugly. So yeah.
What'd you think of her makeup effects or the special? Were you convinced that when she transformed? Big spoiler alert! She transforms into a cheetah woman.
No,
did
frankly,
you find it a little bit
corny?
There's a lot of dark shadow effects. It wasn't the brightest.
No,
the battle when she turns into a cheetah girl.
No, I didn't like her. There's, I mean, some of the special effects were great. Others were corn on the cob. Like her. Turning into the cheetah was a bit silly, to say the least.
And I liked about one thing about Chris Pine. He returns as the boyfriend of Wonder Woman because Wonder Woman in the story makes a wish on the magical stone, the artifact that they had, and she wishes to have Steve Trevor back. What happens in the story, spoiler alert, is that his soul comes back from heaven or wherever in the great beyond, because he doesn't quite remember what it was like, but he knew he was happy, and he takes the body of this handsome hunk that she doesn't never met before, but she sees him as his old boyfriend, and they have sort of like a romp and they have a little adventure. I liked his performance. I think the actor Chris Pine's great. I just found it a little bit flimsy. How he could fly a jet plane.
Well,
World War I.
Like I said, it's cartoonish.
It's very cartoonish. If you can put your brain, leave your brain on a shelf for like 2 hours.
Yeah, and that's.
I think you had a good time. But Pedro Pascal, back to this actor.
Pedro.
If I may mention here, he played Maxwell Lord. He's sort of like a down on his luck investor. And he wishes on this crystal.
In fact, he's losing everything.
But the worst part is, it totally blew me away. Spoiler alert, he wishes that he was the crystal. It dissolves, and he becomes the crystal. And that way, he becomes like some kind of walking genie. And he gets whatever he wants just by touching people's hands and asking them to wish. And that's where it gets starts to spin. It starts to spin out of control. And I think you mentioned it really well, Joel, how he's not a bad person. He's not like a Lex Luthor.
No,
he's not evil.
No,
he's ambitious, and he gets so caught up with the passion of the thrill of making wishes, Grant, that he doesn't realize everything has a cost. So
to me, like I actually heard that there was a lot of reshooting and rewrites because the test audiences didn't like it.
Yeah, like there's a bit like different plots, right?
It's like, okay, whatever. I don't know. It's a busy movie. It certainly isn't boring. I guess it's kind of sloppy in a way.
Would you say it was less or more better than the original?
I don't know. I think probably the first movie was better because it was more. It was less of a mess.
More concise, more solid in the first.
Now
one.
Let me just say that the first movie was a bit cartoony. The first part of the movie, which actually was strangely the most feminist part of the movie.
Yeah.
Of Diana training on the island of Amazons was actually the best part of the movie. Where the first movie got cartoonish and silly is how it portrayed the Germans as the bad guy of World War I when everyone was, but it was, I guess I would say that the first movie was better than this one, but this one did try to be its own
It was trying to be an independent kind of idea.
Yeah.
And it had definitely it went a different direction.
I think Wonder Woman would be better when she's teamed up with other superheroes.
Yeah, that's probably
as opposed to
when they have a Justice League 2.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that they can come up with a Justice League 2 that's actually better directed than the first Justice League.
Yeah.
I would recommend it if you can just not take it too seriously. It will, if you have a child, you may have a little teary-eyed because there's a good message about fathers, and I liked it. Again, Gal Gadot is a great character actress. She plays Wonder Woman, and she plays a really noble heroine. She's a really good hero, and she has a good moral speech at the end of the movie, which I won't say anything. So yeah, I recommend you see it. Just don't expect it to be like a big DC movie. It was fun to watch, and it had a good message at the end. So that's all the time we have for this special near the end of the year 2020 movie. This is a movie is called Wonder Woman 1984. I'm with my friend Joel, and I'm Jeremy, and you've been listening to Video Gamers Oasis Playful podcast for video games, movie reviews, and other geeky stuff. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you have an awesome, happy new year 2021. Take care of each other, and we'll see you again in 2021. That's all the time we have. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Oh, no, it's okay.
Video Gamers Oasis. Website, YouTube channel.